What's going on YouTube? Today I want to do a little armory video. You'll get to see all of the weapons that I have, all of the AEGs, all of the shotguns, all of the snipers, and my sidearms. So we're going to dive into it, and we'll start with some of my CQB guns. Alright, so first up for my CQB guns is my custom built Spider Pig. It got the name Spider Pig because of the Spikes tactical rail and the Noveski Flaming Hog flash hider. So Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. Built this essentially from the ground up from a combat machine. This is just something that I wanted for CQB. I have the Chimera MOSFET. I'll link an unboxing video to that. I've got my Chimera MOSFET in here. I've got a little pressure switch with the flashlight. Just something for CQB when it's dark. Decent rate of fire, low 20s, low FPS, maybe in the mid 330 or something like that. But this is what my primary weapon for CQB. Next up for CQB guns is my KTW SPAS12 shotgun. If you've been on my channel before, or maybe you haven't, I've done a video review of this shotgun before. I did a little chrono video as well. Mostly made of plastic with the exception of the aftermarket stock and the trigger and maybe the front sling swivel. Shoots only about 270 FPS. It doesn't use shells. It uses a long spring tube magazine. This is just something I like to plink around with. Not too many people have them, so it's a nice showpiece. So yeah, my KTW SPAS12. Alright, so it's time for my first field gun. This is my A&K LR300. When I bought it, it was right around $200. I've had this gun for almost 5 years now. My second AEG. I've taken and removed the regular wire stock for the traditional LR300 folding and collapsible stock. It has the LR300 pistol grip, front handguard. I've added a longer inner barrel to the inside and then covered it up with a flash suppressor or silencer. One of my field guns, I don't use this one too often. This one is more of a loner gun. It gets beaten up. It's not a big deal. But it's typically your standard version 2 M4. Nothing too fantastic about it, but it is different than your standard M4 out there. So this is my LR300. Alright, my go-to gun, my GMP LMT TR. TR stands for Tactical Rifle, and if you're familiar with the real gun world, LMT stands for Lewis Machine Tool. This is made by GMP, so you can expect high quality externals. The internals are alright. They can use some touch-ups, corrected AOE, maybe change the gears. The gears aren't that great. But other than that, this weapon has been highly modified. It has an AWS Raptor MOSFET, a GMP M120 motor, high torque motor. It's pushing right around 400 FPS, so it's legal for here in Florida. But if you've been on my channel, this is the gun that I do most of my recording with. It's my most reliable gun, one of my favorites by far. Definitely an eye candy piece. Nice and short, but it still has the range as some of your long M16s. It's just a really comfortable, skirmishable AEG. So that's my GMP LMT TR. Another field weapon, as well as a support role weapon. This is a project gun that I'll be working on with a fellow YouTuber, good friend, butt buddy, teammate. I mean, we're pretty close with Schwell 11. We're going to be building this gun up. This is a Well MB02 VSR10. It's the shorter version. It has the shorter barrel, but it still functions as a Springer sniper rifle. Right now it's bone stock, brand new. We're going to build it up, like I said. We're going to paint the stock and paint the barrel, and it's basically just going to be a iron-sighted sniper rifle, something for quick shots, and something we can throw in a scabbard and use as a secondary weapon almost. Has great range, great functionality, but this is my project gun with Schwell11 on YouTube. I'll put a link to his channel below. But this is the Well MB02 VSR sniper rifle. Next up, for my field support weapons, this is my modified KWA SR10. It's a semi-automatic DMR. That means even if it's on full auto, it's been restricted to shoot a single shot only. In Florida, at the fields I play at, they allow this to have a higher FPS than your typical AEG because it's semi-auto only. This one's been quite modified, externally and internally. On the inside, we're pushing a GMP M170 motor. The internals have been completely rebuilt. XI-Tech piston, modified piston head, reshimmed. I think it still has the stock gears though. It has a 509mm inner barrel, and it's covered up by the silencer on the end. Just threw on a bipod as well as a grip and a 3x9x30 optic. This is a fun gun to use. If you've never played a DMR, it's rewarding, but it's also a pain in the butt. You have to, in Florida we still have a minimum engagement distance of like 100 feet, but because I'm hitting a higher FPS, I'm using heavier weight BBs, so I can still hit people at range. But DMRs and snipers, as many of you know, a lot of people in our community don't tend to take those hits because it's like, oh, I just got hit by something. Or did I? I'm not sure. I didn't get hosed by a bunch of BBs. But nevertheless, this is a really fun gun to run. Definitely my favorite field gun for a support role. And that is my custom KWA SR10 DMR. Alright, for the last support weapon, I have my GMP MK23 Stoner 63 light machine gun. I picked this up earlier this year after I got to use it teammates, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I had to buy one for myself. It is one sexy light machine gun. It doesn't weigh nearly as much as an M249 or an M60. It doesn't have as many BB capacity as an M249 or an M60. This only holds about 1,200 BBs as opposed to almost 5,000. However, it's much shorter in length. It's only right around 40 inches or so. M249s can be upwards of 50, and don't even get me started about the MG60s. This uses a standard version 2 gearbox. It has an auto-winding magazine. Battery stores in the rear in the stock. It's made of aluminum, polymer, and steel. Box mags are fairly easy to come by if you know where to look. This one so far is completely stock. I haven't done anything to it. In Florida I'm allowed to push these up to 450 FPS as long as it is a support weapon, which it clearly is. One thing I do note, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, is this stock. Somehow I managed to crack the stock on one side. There's a nice hairline fracture. Not sure if you guys can see that or not. I don't know if it's just a stress fracture or if it's something to do with the heat here in Florida, but I can't find the replacement stocks anywhere. I'm probably just going to have to Bondo it up or something. This AEG allows for semi-auto and full auto capabilities with the safety and the trigger. The magazine runs off The box magazine runs off of a 9-volt battery, and it auto feeds up into the gearbox, and it's a top feeding gearbox into the air nozzle. This shoots right around 400 FPS in the low 20s on a 7.4 volt battery at a 45 to 90 C discharge rate. So this thing is really cranking out some serious energy. But this is definitely a head turner on the field, and it definitely keeps people's heads down. Another favorite of mine, this is the GMP MK23 Stoner 63 light machine gun. Alright guys, last but certainly not least is my sidearm. This is the only sidearm I have. This is my Cybergun KJW Sig Sauer P226 in tan. A very, very reliable sidearm. Great range, great accuracy. Holds 25 plus 1. Has a lot of functions that you see on the normal 226. Slide release with the decocker. Magazine release. Been a very, very reliable sidearm. It even has the high contrast sights. You guys can see that. I run 3 mags with this off my HSGI battle belt. Other than that, it's a great piece to have as a sidearm when your primary goes down. You can have, because of the decocker, you can keep one in the chamber and still be able to function with it if you need to. You don't have to rack the slide. So there you guys have it. You got to see what my collection looks like, my armory per se. As for the video, I hope the wind keeps itself quiet. It looks like there's a storm coming in. I wanted to get this video out as soon as I could. If you guys have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them in the description below. There's going to be more video coming out from my channel, and let me know what you guys think. What video you guys want to see next. Which AEG you want me to do a review of. I've got a lot of content that I want to put out, and as you can see, I have the arsenal to do it. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you out there on the battlefield.